This video will explain the backwards strategy. So the backwards strategy says, start by placing your goal at the bottom of the page, and then try to specify a line or lines from which you can get your goal in a single step. Then do the same for the lines you specified, and repeat until you work your way up to the premises. Let's see how this works with an example. We're going to do the same proof that we did via the hammer strategy. We'll do it this time via the backwards strategy. So we start by placing our goal, the conclusion, at the bottom of the page. Now sometimes your goal might not be the conclusion. You might have some sub-goal that you want to try to get by the backwards strategy. And then you'll keep working together to get to go on from there. But in this case, I'm going to make the goal the conclusion. So I want to get not z. And I see that not z is in the consequent of this conditional. So that's where it's going to come from. So if I could get not z and y, then I could get not z by and out. Well, what is it going to take to get not z and y? Well, I'm going to need not h. And then I could get not z and y by arrow out, using line 2 and whatever line not h turns out to be. Well, not h is right here in the g and not h and I. So if I could get g and not h and I out, well, then I could break out the g and not h, and then I could get not h by ampersand out. Okay, well, I can get g and a, not h and I by 1, 3, arrow out. So now it's just a matter of basically filling in the justifications going down. So line 5 will be g and not h by 4 and out. H will be line 6, and so that's from 5 and out. Line 7 will be not z and y, and that's from 2, 6, arrow out. And then finally on line 8, we get not z by 7 and out. And so if you look back at the proof for the hammer strategy, I think that this proof turns out to be shorter. So one of the nice things about the backwards strategy is because you're working backwards in a very goal-directed fashion, you tend to not do steps that are unnecessary. Whereas with the hammer strategy, if you're just kind of breaking apart anything that you can, you might do some steps that you don't need, it turns out. Like I think when we did the hammer strategy, I took the I out of line 4 because I could. But it turns out that wasn't really important or necessary to the proof. Now, it's fine if you do some extra lines. The proof is still valid as long as you've done those extra lines correctly. It's nice to have it shorter if you can. So that's one reason why the backward strategy is so powerful. And the backward strategy is going to come into play in basically all of the rest of the strategies that we're going to have. So it's a good one to always be thinking about.